Let's begin with a truth many people overlook. Sex is not just about climax, it is about connection, rhythm, and the way two bodies communicate without words. Too often, couples fall into routines where release becomes the main focus, while the journey, the anticipation, the build, the shared pleasure gets left behind. Today, I want to bring your attention to a position that honors her body, fuels her arousal, and allows her to reach joy before his deep release. This matters because female sexual response is different. While men often experience arousal that builds steadily toward orgasm, women's arousal can be more layered, more dependent on stimulation, pressure, and emotional safety. A position that places her pleasure at the center not only gives her what her body craves, but it also strengthens the bond between partners. When she feels seen, heard, and satisfied, sex becomes more than physical. It becomes healing, energizing, and deeply fulfilling. Now let's talk about the position itself. Imagine her on top, in full control of the rhythm, depth, and angle. Many people call this the cowgirl variation, but it is more than just a position. It is a philosophy of sexual connection. She sits astride him, guiding the pace, rocking her hips, grinding against his pelvis, and finding that perfect angle where her clitoris receives steady stimulation with every movement. This setup creates friction exactly where she needs it most. Unlike thrusting alone, this motion combines penetration with clitoral pressure, which is the key to most women's orgasms. Why does this matter? Because the majority of women do not climax from penetration alone. Research in sexual health shows that clitoral involvement is essential. When she is on top, she is not waiting for him to stumble upon the right rhythm, she creates it herself. She can grind slowly for buildup, press harder for intensity, and change her pace as her arousal builds. That freedom transforms sex from something being done to her into an experience where she is the active guide. That shift in control is powerful. It turns sex into something shared, balanced, and deeply satisfying. Another important detail is body alignment. In this position, his pelvis presses against hers in a way that keeps her clitoris in constant contact with small rocking motions instead of full thrust. Her nerves are continuously stimulated. It is not about fast pounding, it is about steady, deliberate grinding. This creates waves of pleasure that build slowly until her body has no choice but to let go. That release is not a quick spark, it's a flood. When she reaches that stage, her breathing deepens, her muscles contract, and her mind enters that state of pure, unfiltered joy. And here's the beauty of it. She gets there before he does. By allowing her to climb first, the focus shifts away from a race to orgasm and toward shared satisfaction. Once she has released, her body relaxes, her energy opens, and she is free to enjoy his depth, his rhythm, and his eventual climax. The experience becomes layered, her joy comes first, and his follows like a natural echo. This order matters because it prevents her from feeling left behind. Too many women report feeling unfulfilled after sex, not because their partner didn't care, but because the pace and focus didn't align with their needs. By giving her the lead, this position resolves that imbalance. But there is more to this than technique. There is psychology too. When a woman feels she has permission to take control, to ride, to move, and to release without shame, she connects with her sexual power. This power isn't just physical, it is emotional and psychological. She no longer sees sex as something to endure or as a performance. Instead, it becomes an expression of her desire. That confidence carries over outside the bedroom as well. Women who feel sexually fulfilled often feel more secure, more energized, and more connected in their daily lives. From a urology and wellness perspective, this position also has physical benefits. The rocking and grinding motion increases blood flow to her pelvic region, which supports vaginal health. Regular, satisfying orgasms strengthen the pelvic floor, improve lubrication, and reduce stress. For him, this position encourages slower thrusting, which helps with stamina and control. The physical closeness, chest-to-chest contact, and the chance to look directly into each other's eyes add another layer of intimacy that goes far beyond mechanics. Now let me be clear, no single position is magic. Every body is different, and every couple has their own rhythm. But what makes this position stand out is how it prioritizes her needs first. It acknowledges the reality that most women need clitoral involvement. It creates a dynamic where she guides the process instead of waiting for it. And it redefines sex as a cycle of giving and receiving rather than a finish line. So how can you put this into practice? Start with communication. Ask her what feels best. Let her know she can set the pace. Encourage her to experiment with angles, forward tilts, backward leans, circular movements. Explore the difference between grinding and bouncing. Notice her breathing, her moans, the subtle changes in her body language. These are the signals that guide you both. Patience is key. Do not rush her. Do not treat her orgasm as a box to check. Instead, create space for her to explore her arousal fully. Remember, her body may need more time, but once she reaches her peak, the intensity is often greater and longer lasting. By putting her release first, you build trust, confidence, and a cycle of desire that makes sex not just satisfying, but deeply addictive in the healthiest way. I want to end with this. Sex is not a one-sided event. It is not about chasing the fastest climax or the biggest release. It is about connection, rhythm, and balance. The position where she takes control, where her clitoris is consistently stimulated, and where her body is free to guide the experience. This is the position that brings her to joy before his deep release. It is not a secret trick or a hidden key. It is about listening, prioritizing, and being present. My call to you today is simple. Put her joy at the center. Let her ride, let her grind, let her control. Support her, encourage her, and celebrate her orgasm as the centerpiece of your shared experience. When she feels safe to release first, the connection that follows is richer, stronger, and unforgettable. Choose to create that space. Choose to honor her body. Choose to bring her to joy before his deep release, and watch how it transforms not just your sex life, but your entire relationship. Thank you.